Good evening and welcome to our first year Parents Information Evening. My name is Thomas Coggins and I'm the newly appointed Principal here at Coláiste, Iascaigh. The transition from primary to post-primary can be a daunting one for the students, but also it's quite a daunting time for you, the parents. And tonight, I suppose, is designed to give you an insight into the structures that we have here in Coláiste, Iascaigh, but also to help your child make informed decisions around the upcoming subject choices. So without further ado, I'd like to pass you over to our Deputy Principal, Miss Maeve McDermott, and she'll take you through a very informative presentation. Okay.
The move from primary to post-primary can be quite challenging sometimes for students. Students in primary school are traditionally used to one teacher in their classroom with them who decides what subjects they study at different times throughout the day. When they come to secondary school, they then need to get to know all new teachers for their different subjects. They have a longer school day, often with homework at the weekend, and they're getting used to having timetabled classes as well as moving around rooms to go to these classes and organising their books in their lockers to bring with them. Sometimes this can be a little bit overwhelming. Here in Coláiste Iascaigh, we aim to make the transition from primary to post-primary as seamless as possible. We operate a mentoring programme where one of the transition year students have been assigned as a mentor to your child in school. The school completion worker is also conducting an induction programme with the first year group each week on settling into post-primary. Additional support and guidance is available if required through the Home Youth Liaison Service, and you will find the form on our school website if you wish to refer your child or make contact with the school directly. Recognising that the transition can be quite difficult and organising themselves might take a little bit longer, we give an additional 5 minutes to first years for their lunchtime, and they also have a designated outdoor area which they can go to when they have finished eating their lunch. There are themed events throughout the year which may involve anti-bullying, well-being week, healthy eating, but to name a few. The focus on this is student well-being and making sure that your child feels included, and as parents and guardians, you also play a very supportive role in helping your child transition from primary to post-primary. The following tips can help your child settle into secondary school here in Coláiste Iascaigh. We'd encourage you to help your child get into a routine and organise their school bag the night before. By doing this, they're not running around in the morning looking for something and trying to get organised going out the door. Sometimes when students are disorganised in the morning, it may result in them being delayed and getting into school later than planned. We'd encourage you to discuss your child's timetable with them and encourage them to be organised for all of their classes. Encourage your child to go to their lockers in the morning time to get their first 3 books, at break time to get the books for the next 3 classes, and at lunchtime to get the books for their last 3 classes. Students can also go to their lockers after school and organise the books which they need to bring home to help them do their homework. Explain that homework will increase from what they did in primary school, and this is normal. Sometimes getting homework at the weekend might take a little bit of an adjustment for students. We would ask that you check your child's journal each day and see that they're writing down their homework in it and recording it, and also sign the journal weekly. There are a variety of extracurricular activities on offer here in the school which involve sport, Girls Active, Green Skills, Iascaigh, Enterprise, the school musical and talent shows, but to name a few. The Student Council for the 21-22 academic year have already been elected. The Student Council acts as a voice for the students and works towards promoting a better school for all students present and future here in Coláiste Iascaigh. The Student Council gives students the opportunity to develop leadership skills and responsibility as they become more involved in school life. The Student Council have recently completed training in relation to their roles. The school day here in Coláiste Iascaigh is broken up into 9 classes, with each class being 40 minutes long. The school day begins at 8:55 a.m. with every student in Coláiste having tutor time. At this time, students should be in their base classroom seat with their books organised for the day. The first 3 classes take place between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. From 11 to 11:20 we have break, another 3 classes from 11:20 until 1:20, lunches from 1:20 to 1:50, and the last 3 classes from 1:50 until 3:50. We have a homeschool community liaison officer here in Coláiste, Iascaigh. Their aim is to promote partnership and cooperation between home and school and the community, and to ensure that every child participates fully in the school system so that they reach their full potential. You might hear from the whole school community liaison officer when they can provide support to you and your child, discuss opportunities for you and your child, when they're looking for volunteers to take part perhaps in initiatives or review policies or help out with school life. You may also contact the homeschool community liaison officer if you have any questions, if you would like to meet them and discuss something with them, or if you would like to act as a volunteer and help out in the school. There are a variety of supports here in Coláiste Iascaigh for your child. These include the class teachers, the mentors, tutors, year head, homeschool liaison officer, guidance counsellor, home youth liaison service, and the school completion project worker. As you, the parents and guardians, are your child's primary educator, you have a very important role, and therefore we recognise it's essential that your voices are heard. The Parents Association in Coláiste Iascaigh work closely with the school management to ensure parents are active contributors to the education provision and that they have a say in the development of the school and the education of their children. The Parents Association email address is colaisteiscaigh@msletb.ie. This year we're delighted to launch the new Coláiste Iascaigh school app. The school app allows parents and guardians as well as school to contact each other from their smartphone or devices. You can use the school app to provide notes if your child is signing in or out, or to explain their absence from school. All correspondence should be sent in via the school app. You will also be able to submit notes and direct them to teachers. So say for example, if a student doesn't have their PE uniform, you will be able to contact their PE teacher and submit a note and let them know that way. In Coláiste Iascaigh, we use a student management software system called VSware. You can access VSware through the school app or alternatively via the school website. Through VSware, you will be able to view your child's academic reports as well as monitor all student behaviour. You should have received your usernames for VSware now, and you can have created a password. Our school policies are available on our school website under the About Us section, and you will be able to find them there. Please take time to go through and review our school policies and discuss them with your child. In Coláiste Iascaigh, all students have Microsoft Office 365 accounts. The first year students receive their logins and passwords on their first day in school. Students in school are using Microsoft Teams to submit and do some of their work online with their teachers. We'd ask you to encourage them to show you how they use it so that they become more familiar and confident in using Office 365. In 2014, the junior cycle was phased in, replacing the previously examined junior certificate. The junior cycle places the students at the centre of their educational experience, and it enables each student to actively participate in community and society and encourages them to be resourceful in all aspects and stages of their development. The new junior cycle was introduced because research indicated that students were turned off learning in the junior certificate. There were a very narrow range of assessments used in examining the junior cert, and there was too much emphasis placed on covering content. The new junior cycle has introduced a variety of methods of assessment as well as teaching methodologies. Some people might wonder then, well, what's the difference with the junior cert and the junior cycle? The new junior cycle facilitates a smoother transition from primary to post-primary. Students are more actively involved in their learning and they use investigative approaches in their learning. There is a key emphasis on literacy, numeracy, and key skills, and less of an emphasis on one terminal exam at the end of 3 years. There's improved feedback and reporting from teachers, which helps students learn better. It's essential that learners have a wide variety of key skills to help them develop and learn in today's world. The junior cycle incorporates the following key skills: managing myself, staying well, managing information thinking, being numerate, being creative, working with others, communicating, and being literate. Using these key skills supports students in learning how to learn and to take responsibility of their own learning. As part of your child's junior cycle, they will study core subjects, which means that there is no option. These are set subjects and every student in first year will study them. Optional or choice subjects, which means the students has the choice of which subjects they would like to study. Short courses, which are completed throughout the 3 years of the junior cycle, and the students will only be assessed in a maximum of 10 subjects or 9 subjects and 2 short courses. Recognising the importance of well-being, the new junior cycle indicates that students should study up to 400 hours of well-being across the 3 years of their junior cycle. First year subjects contributing towards student well-being include SPHE, CSPE, PE and careers, and it is essential that we look after your students' well-being as it results in better educational outcomes. The core subjects that your child will study here in Coláiste, Iascaigh include English, Irish and Maths at higher or ordinary level, History and Science. Both of these are studied at common level, and their short courses which they will study are SPHE and Digital Media and Literacy. Your child can then study the following optional subjects. Your child may study Visual Art or Geography, Wood Technology or Home Economics, Graphics or Business Study, and Engineering or French. All of these are studied at a common level, which means that there are no longer higher or ordinary level papers in this subject for junior cycle. Your child has already sampled the first half of these optional subjects and are currently studying the second half. I would encourage you to have a conversation with your child around their choice subjects and which ones they are enjoying or what they're finding challenging in helping them make their selection for the next 3 years. Mentioned earlier, the junior cycle is assessed in a variety of ways. Each subject will have 2 classroom-based assessments. Each classroom-based assessment is then followed with a SLAR, which is a subject learning and review meeting. This is done by teachers. The CBA or classroom-based assessment in 3rd year will be followed by an assessment task and will be forwarded to the State Exams Commission in June, which will be marked externally outside of school. Students who sit the junior cycle exam for each subject studied in the June of the 3rd year. There will be no final exam for short courses. The junior cycle is examined and graded in the following way. The classroom-based assessment descriptors are as follows. A student's work may be exceptional, above expectations, in line with expectations, or yet to meet expectations. The junior cycle exams which are completed in June of 3rd year are graded as follows. A distinction is anywhere between 90 and 100%. A higher merit is anywhere between 75 and 89%. A merit is between 55 and 74%. Achieved is 40 to 54%. Partially achieved is 20 to 39%. And not graded is a result of less than 20%. There will be other areas of learning included in your students' junior cycle report. Students will have the opportunity to engage with a wide variety of other learning experiences as part of the junior cycle programme. This helps to provide students with a broad and balanced educational experience. Students are encouraged to engage with co-curricular or extracurricular activities delivered here in school. Students will receive their junior cycle profile of achievement in the autumn after their junior cycle exams. It will should report in all areas of student learning, including their subject studied, their classroom-based assessment, and any other areas of learning which your student gets involved in school. Research indicates that parents and guardians being engaged in children's learning at home makes the greatest difference to student achievement. As a result, we'd encourage you to discuss your children's homework with them each evening, their school reports, their assessments, and anything to do with school life. Encourage your child to read to help improve their literacy skills also. We would ask that you discuss the subjects students are sampling to support them in making the correct subject choice for junior cycle. The following questions can help. Do I like this subject? Students should pick subjects which they like. Sometimes students tend to pick subjects which their friends are doing and it may not be the best fit for them. Am I good at it? Students should pick subjects which they are good at and which they are performing well in. How have I performed up to now? If the student is getting positive praise from their teacher and being advised that they are good at the subject, then they should consider picking it for junior cycle. Is there a chance I might need it for further study or for my career? Students should avoid limiting their career choices by making subject choices which may restrict them. They can discuss this in their careers class with the guidance counsellor in school and also with you at home. And am I keeping my options open? Sometimes if students don't pick perhaps a language in junior cycle, it may restrict their options for senior cycle. Students should pick subjects that they like, that they'll always do their best in, where they find that they pay attention in class quite easily because they're eager to learn more about the subject. They should always do their homework thoroughly in the subject to help with their learning. Spend time studying the subject, so on top of their homework that they do a bit of independent study around the topics being covered. This can also help students identify areas that they don't fully understand and help prepare questions for their next class. That the subject keeps their options open for the future, that they're not making restrictive choices at a young age, and the subject may be useful in careers that interest the student later on in life. Sometimes students may pick a subject for the wrong reasons, such as my friends are doing the subject and I want to be in the same class as them. This isn't a good idea because sometimes then students may not pick the subject which best suits their ability and needs. I don't want to do the subject because I prefer the other teacher. Students shouldn't make subject choice based on the teacher they have for the class. Students will have favourite teachers and prefer one to another. However, if it's not the reason for the subject that they are making the choice, it's the wrong decision. I'll do the subject because I think it will be easy. No subject is easy, but students will have strengths in certain areas and find other areas challenging. They shouldn't make an option by thinking that they won't have as much work to do in that subject because all subjects will require equal amounts of work. And I don't like the subject, but maybe I will get to like it. If the student isn't liking the subject during the sampling, it's unlikely that they're going to develop a strong love for the subject later on throughout the next 3 years. We'd encourage students to pick the subjects that they like most, that they work best in, and that suits them as students. Some courses in third level require an additional third language as an entry requirement into courses. These colleges include NUI Maynooth, Dublin, Galway, Cork, and a range of associated constituent colleges, all of which are listed on the NUI website at www.nui.ie. In recent years, NUI dropped the third language requirement for engineering and science programs. UCD has also dropped it for their agricultural programs, and nursing at NUI colleges never required a third language. Discuss with your child the possible career paths they may be interested in and encourage them to ask questions in careers or of the guidance counsellor in school in relation to if they need a third language as an entry requirement. DUL, TCD, GCU and the ITs do not require a continental language for entry purposes to most of their courses unless it's stated in their course entry requirements. A third language must be included for arts, human sciences, law, social science, commerce, medicine and health sciences and some other degrees. A third language is also a requirement for entry into the cadetship in the Army or Air Corps, so it is important that students make their decision very carefully when it comes to studying or the option of studying French as one of their optional subjects. The following are the optional subjects which students may study. They may only pick a subject from each of the lines. They must pick a subject from each of the lines also. So in line 1, students must pick to study either visual art or geography. In line 2, students must make the decision to study wood technology or home economics. In line 3, students choose between graphics and business. And in line 4, students choose between engineering or French. It's not possible for students to pick 2 subjects on the same line. So say for example, there's not the option for students to study both engineering and French. Students will be given their subject choice forms on Monday the 18th of October. This is the time they will select the subjects which they intend to study for the duration of their junior cycle. The form should be signed by both students and their parent or guardian, and it needs to be returned to school by October 20th. Students will then start their chosen optional subjects from Monday the 2nd of November when they return from midterm break. Just a reminder, students should pick subjects that they like, where they feel they have succeeded, that they would like to study for the duration of junior cycle, and what suits their strengths and learning style. Students are encouraged to discuss their subject choices with the subject teachers and also to ask the teachers or guidance counsellor if they have any additional questions. You will find additional information supporting subject choice on www.jct.ie, www.careersportal.ie and www.qualifax.ie. If you have any questions or concerns as parents or guardians, direct them to our school email coláiste@msletb.ie. Thank you for taking the time to attend our virtual presentation of our first year parents information evening and subject choice information evening. Also, thank you very much for choosing Coláiste Iascaigh as a secondary school for your child, and we are looking forward to working together for the next 5 to 6 years in supporting your child's holistic development.